at my wife's birthday party. The air was heavy with perfume, clinking glasses, and the shallow laughter of people who dressed themselves in success. I never belonged in those circles. Not really. My wife, Anna, thrived among them, her colleagues, her boss, men and women who measure worth not by kindness, but by power and the size of their paychecks. I was her husband, quiet, content with modest life, working odd jobs, writing small freelance pieces that never seemed to bring in much. She never complained, but I often saw in her eyes a longing for more, for something greater than me. That night, everything I had buried, every suspicion I ignored, became flesh and stood before me. When her boss, Gregory, raised his glass to toast Anna, his words felt too familiar, too intimate. His hand brushed her arm longer than courtesy demanded, his gaze lingering with a kind of ownership. The room clapped, Anna blushed. I kept still, and then, as though the universe conspired to peel away the last mask, he leaned down and kissed her, not the polite kiss of superior congratulating a subordinate, but slow, intentional, claiming. The room erupted with laughter. It was the sound of wolves enjoying blood. Gregory smirked, eyes locking on mine, and said with a sneer sharp enough to cut, "A nobody husband, living on handouts, spineless, penniless, and forgettable." Every laugh stabbed me deeper, but none cut like Anna's. My wife laughed too, not awkwardly, not defensively. She laughed like she agreed, and in that moment, I realized the betrayal wasn't beginning. It had been here for a long time. I was only now witnessing the depth of it. I smiled, not because I found anything funny, but because I understood something essential. When predators believe they've broken you, they stop guarding themselves. I smiled at Gregory, at Anna, at all of them, and I said quietly, though my voice carried over the music and laughter, "Enjoy tonight. It's the last time any of you will laugh at me." The room fell into a hush, unease rippling beneath their painted confidence. Gregory scoffed, muttered something about delusional nobodies, but the silence had already taken root. My wife's eyes flickered toward me, half annoyance, half curiosity, as though she'd forgotten I was capable of words at all. I excused myself, not dramatically, but with calm steps, leaving them to their champagne and cruelty. Outside, the night air was colder than I expected, cleansing. My chest felt hollow, but inside that hollow space, something began to form. It wasn't rage, though anger burned through me. It wasn't despair, though sorrow weighed me down. It was resolve, a steady, immovable clarity I had never known before. Anna and Gregory thought I was powerless because I didn't flaunt my worth in front of them. They didn't know the hours I spent building something quietly in the shadows, away from their world of shallow applause. While they laughed at me for being nobody, I had been investing. Not in stocks, not in fleeting luxuries, but in knowledge, in relationships with people who valued more than wealth. I had been patient, waiting for a reason to use it all. And now I had one. The days after the party revealed more than I ever wanted to know. Anna came home late, smelling a cologne that wasn't mine. She stopped hiding her phone, stopped pretending. Betrayal no longer wore a mask in our house. It sat openly at our table, ate our meals, slept in our bed. She spoke of Gregory with admiration, as though he were some god descended to rescue her from the mediocrity of me. But I didn't fight her. I didn't beg. I didn't shout. That's what they expected. Instead, I watched, listened, remembered. Gregory's company wasn't invincible. Behind the shiny offices and cocktail parties was corruption. I knew, because my freelance work had once led me into the company's financial shadows. I hadn't acted then, out of loyalty to Anna, who adored her career there. Now that loyalty was ash. Weeks turned into months, and I built my case. Numbers, documents, evidence of fraud and embezzlement that no one else had bothered to connect. The CEO who mocked me was a man living on borrowed time, propped up by illusions and intimidation. I didn't need to confront him with fists. I only needed the truth and patience. When the storm came, it came quietly. A leaked report, anonymous submissions to regulators, a carefully timed release of information to the right journalists. Gregory's empire began to collapse piece by piece. His smirk vanished from the newspapers, replaced with headlines of scandal, betrayal, and disgrace. The same people who laugh at his jokes whisper behind his back now, abandoning him the way hyenas scatter when a lion is wounded. And Anna? She watched it unfold with eyes wide in disbelief. The man she had chosen to laugh with, to betray me for, was dragged to mud deeper than anything I could have imagined. The same colleagues who toasted him turned their backs. She reached for me then, not out of love, but desperation. But I was no longer there. The night she betrayed me had ended the marriage, though she hadn't realized it. My smile that night had been the funeral of us. When the divorce papers came, she wept, begged, clutched at the fragment of a life she had scorned. But betrayal doesn't get second chances. Love, once mocked publicly, once trampled in laughter, doesn't grow back. I left her with her memories, with her regrets, with the ashes of the empire she chose over me. People still ask me how I endured that night, how I stood there while everyone laughed. The answer is simple. Betrayal hurts, but it also awakens. It shows you who people truly are. And once you see the truth, you're no longer their victim. You're free. Gregory lost his company. Anna lost her marriage. And me? I found myself. That night at the party, they all thought they were watching a man being broken. But in truth, they were watching a man being reborn.